A lot of you had known that I was with a project in 2003, a project by the Gardiner Museum for Ceramic Arts, the Barbara Slifer Clinic and Sistering. I was with 11 women and who underwent abuse but refused to be victims and opted to be victor. Now, none of us know how to sculpt, and there was the sculptor that taught us how to come up with the totem-like sculpture of a symbol of our hope was Susan Lobier, and the art therapist was Susan, I forgot her last name.
Thompson.
Susan Thompson. Thank you very much, Catherine. Thank you, Catherine. Susan Thompson. We came up with a sculpture, and the exhibit was entitled Out of the Mud, the Lotus Blooms. Because the lotus is a flower that grows in the mud, and the deeper the mud, the more beautiful the lotus blooms. Now, the title of my exhibit was called Multidimensional Coexistence. And my artist statement was stated through an acronym, LOTUS. L, of course, lotus, a flower that grows in the mud. The deeper the mud, the more beautiful the lotus blooms. O, overtly create a mosaic out of my broken pieces, entitled My Obra Maestra, My Life. T, taming the monster that haunted me. Now, I have a vanguard. U, unequivocably embrace that I am both my shadow and my light, and all its nuances. S, sustained by the very same mud that engulfed me. Now this lotus beautifully blooms and awakens to eventually be 1,000-petaled lotus, or a blooming consciousness. Now, as a tribute to the Gardiner Museum for Ceramic Arts, to Barbara Slifer, to Sistering, to Susan Lobier, Susan Thompson, but most especially to the mud, which was the symbol, and the clay, which is the symbol of the transformation, but especially to the 11 women that journeyed with me, and those women who had no voice. I wrote this song, Within and Out of the Mud. Here it goes. I hid in the mud, 'cause the world is scary. I splashed myself with mud, 'cause I was angry. I took comfort in the mud, 'cause I was lonely. I stuffed myself with mud, 'cause I felt empty. Deep in the mud, I asked just who and what am I? I thought I had no choice, trapped and victimized. How was love betrayed and trust abused? Invisible and silenced in recluse. So deep within the mud, I seeked for counsel, lost without meaning and unreal. I asked for answers. I thought that in the mud I could just hide and disappear. But God, these words I need to hear. Look at your reflection in the mud and see your life's vision. Listen to the silence of the mud and hear your life's mission. Trust it to mold you until you're ready to set yourself free, to let yourself be. So I dared breaking through, though so slowly. I seeked kindred souls who somehow knew me. I reached out my hand, but it wasn't easy. Now I found the courage to share my story. And now I'm halfway out of the mud. 'Cause out of the mud I can breathe easy. Out of the mud you can see and hear me. Out of the mud I reclaim my divinity and my dignity. One day soon, out of the mud I'll bloom in God's beauty.